Okay, so this is going to be a rough video in all sense of the word. It's raining today. I'm not going anywhere. Um, this isn't a makeup tutorial, so I can just wear a ponytail. I was doing this for my team, but I'm going to end up sharing it. So just really quick, because I tried to record this already and I accidentally, my computer died. So I'm a little upset about that, but whatever. So 10 steps on how to increase your network marketing, your network marketing team without having to contact anyone, period. Yeah, my team is growing and I'm not contacting anyone. I know a lot of people don't like that side of network marketing, and that's fine. And a lot of people don't like it because they don't feel like being told no or anything. What they usually tell you when you start a network marketing company is to have your list of 100 people and you can kind of go through them and cold call them. I did that before. I mean, it's fine, but I get a lot more hassle. You get a lot more frustration because, well, you get more frustrated because a lot of the time you're calling people randomly and they don't even know what's going on. So I start number one with mindset. And it's funny because I did this whole list and I was going through my exact process and I literally came up with 10. Like, it just so happened to be that way. So that's what I'm going to call it. So number one is mindset. Like, regardless of whatever, number one is mindset because, first of all, you know why you got started. You know what your vision was for this company. And even if you don't know a lot about this company, you know the basics, you know the gist. You were probably on a webinar, you're probably on a live meeting or whatever the case. So you know the gist of what it is. So with that, you run with that. So you don't have to take your time to learn everything about the company, which a lot of people want to do. Um, what you want to do is you want to go with the information that you have. Luckily, you have a team that can help you. You have your mentor, you have your upline. Get with someone. If it's not your sponsor, get with someone who's going to help you and who's going to be able to do three-way calls for you or really help you with the support. But a lot of times your sponsor is the main person that you're going to be contacting. So I say get in the mindset of your vision that you originally had for this company, where you see your goals to be and everything like that, and kind of let that flow through you and how you interact with people, and they say boss up. So basically everything that you talk about, this is basically the cure for poverty. Okay, so you see poverty, you see poor people, whatever. What you have is gold, and the reason why it's gold is because you know the vision for that. Even if it's just for yourself, you can see other people and you can see what your vision is. But at the end of the day, don't be pressed for signups. Don't be worried about it. You're just sharing the information. You know it's the shit, literally. So you keep it at that. Like, for example, Mercedes, or who else doesn't have a what do you call it, Lamborghini? They don't have commercials on TV, and the reason why, because they know what their worth is. So yes, you may see a Lamborghini advertisement in like a magazine, high end or anything like that, but you'll seldom see it because people are coming to them because they know they have it. This is it. The status symbol, the symbol of wealth. This is it. So they don't have to convince you to do anything. You come here because you know what you want, and that's how you should treat your business, and that's how you should go about networking, especially since you don't want to do it anyway, because I know how everyone is. So, with all that said, as you're going, you continue to learn your product, you continue to share your success and everything, and you continue to show how much you're having fun or how much you're enjoying your company, which you should enjoy. This is why you got involved. You again have your vision for what you see for it. So, that goes into attraction marketing. So attraction marketing is literally, your posts are literally thought out, and they don't have to be crazy. You don't have to. Some people have their marketing schedules. That's actually a good thing to do. But if you don't want to do that, and you're working up, you can start with just posting as you go. So if you're learning something, if you're on a webinar or whatever the case, and you're learning about something, post it. Or if you're meeting with your mentor, you're learning, you're meeting with people in your team, you're going out to a business lunch, you're getting up with someone, post like little things. You don't have to tell all your business. Post little things, and make sure that your captions for these things are relevant. So, okay, the other day I went to it's like a Asian fusion taco, I don't know. Either way, it was really good. But afterwards, we got fortune cookies. My fortune that I posted, it was something about leaders and being a leader and everything. So it was very relevant because leadership. I'm building my team, so I use that. I just put a simple picture. I put it on my notebook so you can see the green background. But it's a simple picture, and all it's saying is, I got this fortune cookie at the restaurant. It's talking about leadership. This is exactly what I want for my team. I want to be the best leader I can possibly be. Our team is building. Our team is growing. Always talk positive, and positive affirmations work on your own, but they're even better for everybody to see. She talks about her business positively. Her business is growing. Her business is doing well and everything. She's having fun. People love to see people having fun. Nobody wants to see you not have fun. And so you should always keep your conversation on business, even outside of social media, even in the comments, even in your messages, whatever the case. Always keep your conversation about business. So, hey, how are you doing? I'm great. I just got another person added to my business, or another person just signed up within my business. Or, oh, I'm great. Like, we're doing great trading. Like, I just made $200 yesterday. Little things like that. Or like, and make them real. They can be true. Okay. Oh, how are you? Or what did you do today? Or what did you do yesterday? Or how's your week going? Oh, it's going great. Like I just had a team meeting, or we just had a good webinar last night, or I just met with my mentor and we went over trades, or I just went through this training to learn how to trade better, blah, blah. Every question anyone asks you should be about your business and could be about your business. It's what you're doing. Now this is what you're doing full time or part time or whatever the case, but you're doing it consistently. So there's always a way to work in your business and tell them what you're doing. Let me see. So yeah. So and also as far as posting in your captions, like I said, make sure they're relevant. A big thing is hashtags. A lot of people say don't put hashtags in between words. I do. People don't like it, I bet. But I do. I use it seldom, a few words that are really keywords, but mostly at the end, I put all the hashtags. So a lot of the time I'll hashtag entrepreneur, business, mindset, anything that really is business related or anything like that. I hashtag it and I put it at the end. What you notice, especially on Instagram, is as you're hashtagging, you will see how many people also tag. So what I usually look for is 100,000 tags and up. What I notice is certain hashtags, a lot of them, I'll have more followers from them. You'll get more likes instantly. A lot of services here, especially for certain pages or certain people who are trying to grow their following, what they do is certain hashtags, they pay for it to automatically follow, to automatically comment, to automatically like. So just that interaction alone will have you at the top of the hashtag. So if you click on it, which a lot of people do, you'll see you at the top or a popular one, the more interaction that you have. So you can take use of the people who actually pay to do that, because it will automatically do it. Like you'll automatically have a certain hashtag. So yeah, don't overload, post interesting content. Don't write too many words. Don't have too many posts with too many words. If you do, for example, Facebook, they have that, the background where if you post, I don't know, under 100 something characters, it will have the big block with color. Don't overload it. Do as much can fit there. Like I said, it's about 100 characters. That should be enough. Like Don't overdo it. Don't over explain anything, and just keep it simple and not very informative. Okay. Because you don't want people to kind of know what you're doing. Really, you just want them to get the gist of it. You want them to ask questions. You want them to message you. You want them to want more information. Don't even post the name of the company that you're doing or anything like that. Don't post exactly what you're doing. You can say trading or all this other stuff, but don't overdo it, because people, if you give them too much, just like anything else, they won't. You gave them everything, so you want to be, what do you want to be coy about it? Be a little coy. Don't give them everything. So my thing is next, when people contact you, because they will inevitably, especially as you're being consistent with your posts and you're having fun and you're telling everybody what you're doing, as you're doing that, even if you still don't know what you're doing, just little things. If you have a demo account and you're posting that, just do that. People will contact you, and I know a lot of you, even on my team, you're already getting contacted. So they're going to ask you what you do. If you're hashtagging free webinar or you're putting that in the caption, they're probably going to ask about that. So what you want to do is let the conversation flow, but let them do most of the talking. The reason why you want them to do most of the talking is because you want to see where you can kind of sell to them almost. Like, you want to see what their need is, and you want to provide that need for them. So they may talk about like, oh yeah, I was thinking about trading because I work all these hours and everything like that, and I don't feel like I'm making enough money, or I want something to multiply for me. Or someone just told me recently, I make a lot of money, but I have to physically be there in order to make money. Or I work a lot of hours, but I'm getting paid peanuts. Or sometimes they say, oh, you know what? I started trading, but I started teaching myself and I don't know how to do it. So you kind of see what their need is, and you don't have to convince them, but you're able to take that as a mental inventory, and you're kind of able to talk to them later, or use that, but you'll see what I'm talking about as I keep on going. So if they come in your inbox, in your DMs, or whatever the case, and they ask for a webinar, say perfect. Okay, you have one coming up, you pick the day for them. Don't give them options, and give them the next one. Okay, so as you're giving them the next one, let's say today is Wednesday. They contact you this morning. You tell them, oh, there's a webinar tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Can you hop on? Now, Eastern Standard Time, the time zone is very important, especially on Instagram. People will hit you up from different sides of the country. Even on Facebook, they'll hit you from different countries. So you always want to say the time zone that you're in, and you always want to ask them if they can hop on, or if you can be in the webinar. So that goes to number 4. You want to get a commitment. You want to get a commitment, okay? So on these posts, you're not posting the link, not in your bio, you're not posting the link, you're not posting your website to sign up, like, oh yeah, if you want to sign up, do here. Nope. None of that. You're not posting the link to the webinar, none of that. You want to make sure someone commits to you, okay? Because we're not just giving all our goods out, first of all. Then we might as well tell them what everything is. We don't want them to make any type of assumption before they get there, and we want to make sure that we're there so that we'll be able to follow up and everything like that. So make them commit to you. So if somebody comes and you tell them about this webinar, and it's better because it's live, because there's only a certain days or certain times that they can choose from. So what you want to do is have them to commit, and no maybes, no, oh, let me see what I could do. Let me see, well, you can't see the webinar. No, until you let me know that you will be available and you will be on this webinar, then I can send you the link. So all this other stuff, you tell them like, look, my time is valuable. I want to make sure that you're on the webinar. We're going to save you a seat, whatever you need to say to let them know that you will be checking for them to make sure they're on there. Because people, if you just let them go, they'll just go. You don't have time for that, and they contacted you for a reason. So make sure that they commit, okay? You're not pulling teeth. This is what they wanted. So when they're contacting you via social media, make sure that you get them off social media. You want to make sure that if they're in your DMs, because you don't want to keep nobody in your DMs. A lot of people, well, I forget about that. But you want to have their personal phone number. That's the only way they can get the link also, if they commit and if you have a personal phone number. So my thing is, they'll commit to a time, and I'll say, okay, can I have your phone number? I mean, you can give them your phone number, but I like to take theirs again so I can have their number and make sure, whatever. But I'll say, okay, well, give me your phone number and I will text you an hour before tomorrow's 9 p.m. webinar or whatever time I said. And the reason why you do that is we're networking. So above all, we're networking. A lot of people have other business ventures. You can do business with them another time, all this other stuff. You want them to have a personal contact, even later for following up. You want to have a personal contact so you can get directly in contact with them. You can follow up. You can remind them, whatever the case. You just make sure that you get them off social media and into your phone, into your contact list. Also, make sure that you ask them for their name so that you don't have just their Instagram name or something, because you're going to need their name. So you want to build your network, and that's another way to do it. So this is kind of like twofold, where you're working on your business, but also you never know who you can come in contact with and what you can do with them later. So this is a big thing a lot of people don't do, and I'm really big on this, organizing yourself. So now you'll have hundreds of contacts, you'll have people calling you and everything like that. People will be looking for you. Like I said, you're not hitting anyone up. You're not. You're just posting that you're having fun. You're already posting on social media. Now you're getting paid for it. So my thing is, you have to organize yourself. So in the beginning, I use Excel. You can still use Excel. Numbers on like Apple products. You can use either one. I had to set up to where conditions would turn certain colors if I had to invite or if I had to remember to follow up with them or whatever. But now what I'm using a lot, and what I'm using and noticing that it works very well, is Evernote. And I taught myself it I don't think it's user friendly. Other people do, but I taught myself a little bit, and it's free. So the reason why I like it is because it syncs with everything you have. So your computer, your phone, and your iPad. So my thing is, you can only sync two. So I chose to sync my my laptop and my iPhone, and it's free. So what I did was, and it also is useful because you can take other notes on whether you're trading, on other things, and kind of just keep them all in one spot. But I just made a chart in there. And what I put on the chart is name, phone number. Like I said, if that space is blank, you get that thing full before you send a link. So name, phone number, their social media name, especially on Instagram, a lot of the time you won't know them. You won't have their name at all. So you want to make sure that you keep their social media name so you can reference, because you're going to forget them. Then what else? Social media name. And I put the webinar date that they commit to, so that when you go back to follow up, that you'll have an entire list of just the dates, and you'll know, okay, I have to follow up tonight, so it's December 6th. Anyone that says that they're committed to December 6th, you make sure that you send them a text message before the time, and I'll get to that later. So like I said, name, phone number, social media name, the webinar date they commit to, and then later when you follow up, the date that they promised to join. So you have the date that they promised to join, and because sometimes they can't start today, maybe they'll do it when they get paid, maybe whatever holiday is coming up, so they want to do it before or after holiday, whatever the case. You just make sure that you write down whatever date that they commit to. You don't have to follow up with them until you get to that time, and if they don't, then whatever. If they do, whatever. So you have that. And then I have the last one is just I make a longer note section, and in Excel, you can kind of use a Dropbox, and you can have them, because they all end up saying the same thing, whether you need to invite them, whether they missed the webinar, whatever the case, and you have to re-invite them, whatever it is. In Evernote, they don't have the Dropbox option. At least I didn't find it. I tried to look before this, but I feel like it's more useful to just make sure I'm deleting and putting whatever it is. So simple, keep it all the same generic, like notes. So I'll put like needs to follow up, or I'll put need to what is that? I put need to follow up, or I'll put let's see what else. I put bullshitting. I put waiting for a response, uninterested. I put like a few key ones so I can kind of organize myself. What I also do is you can change the row a different color. So if they join, I put green. If they have a start date or they have a join date in the next couple of weeks, tomorrow, whatever the case, I'll turn it yellow. Once they give you a date, those people, they go, I put them at the top. They're yellow. It is what it is. People who are uninterested or bullshitting or don't respond after the webinar or whatever the case, I make them red because I'm not bothered. And you can change the colors you want. You can use that. You cannot use that. But I'm very organized, so that works for me. And a lot of people like to have a system. That's my system. So number 6, reminders. So what I do is I literally wait an hour before the webinar to send the link. So even if they contact me this morning or whatever, and they're like, oh, you have a free webinar, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I'll go, they're in social media, they're in my DMs, whatever the case. I'll tell them, okay, give me your phone number. I will contact you an hour before the webinar at 9 p.m. Eastern, right? That's why I'll message them. And the reason why I'll say an hour and not 8 o'clock or whatever the time is because I don't want them to have too many times in their head. So 9 o'clock, I will contact you an hour before 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And what you do is you make sure that, you give them a chance to download. You give them a chance to get ready and get their free time. Sometimes they have kids. They got to put them down, whatever the case, whatever they have to do. Maybe they have to get home. Maybe they forgot. You're going to give them an hour because an hour is just enough time to kind of let them get their stuff together. So, I also, again, I make a generic invite that I send exactly an hour before. And the good thing is with my computer, I have a MacBook, so I can message. I don't know about other computers, but I can message from my phone. So what I do is I use my notes on my computer. They're also the same on my phone. They all sync. And I literally just copy and paste and send it down the list on my iMessage or whatever, just down the list to everyone. And that literally takes 5 minutes. So 8 o'clock, by not even 3 minutes, by 8:03, I'm done sending everyone invites because, I have it already organized. I know who's on my list that I have to send the link to or whatever the case, and it's already on my invite. So it's literally no time. You take no time doing this. So, so for example, my generic invite says, and I copy and paste this, hey guys, the webinar starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching from your phone, and I should have put smartphone, but I usually put that. If you're watching from your smartphone, download the Zoom app first and whatever app that you're using for the meeting, and then click join webinar at the link, because that's how we get on that. And at the link below, you can join the webinar from your laptop also. So, and then I put the link below, and I also put my name at the bottom. I put Marisa Fortes, even though they already know when I take their number. And that's another thing I want to say. As soon as they give me their number from their DMs or whatever, it doesn't matter if this morning, yesterday, or whatever. It doesn't matter if they're watching this webinar in 3 days. I give them a text immediately with my name, and I'll put where they got me from. So this is Mari Cubana from Instagram or whatever the case, and I'll put that just so they know who this is and everything like that. And they don't start asking me, which sometimes they do, and I don't know why they do that. So after you send this down the line to everyone in your who you already had a commitment from, you don't need to respond to them. At this time, you're getting ready for the webinar. You should help anybody who's having issues, like downloading things, finding the link, because there's always somebody who's having an issue. But for the most part, once you're done with that, you're done with that. So number 7 is play team. So this goes for any event that you're at, webinar, whether it's live, whether it's a phone call, even though a phone calls you're just listening. So whatever the case, but especially in webinars, play team. So the lucky thing is, because this is a big group and everything, you have your support from your team. You don't have to be on the webinar, but I think you have optimum success when you do, because people see others interacting and they feel more comfortable to interact. So let's say, and of course the presenter is going to ask very engaging questions. Answer all those questions, especially because you're connecting and you're paying attention. You'll be able to answer and everything. So most likely the presenter will ask about goals and like how much you want to make and all this other stuff. I make sure I answer all those questions. So they're like, oh, what's the goal for this coming year? Okay, I want to make 100,000 a month. Okay. I'll write that, and other people, they'll start to see, oh, okay, other people are responding. Anyone on the team, everyone on the team. It doesn't matter, you invited something, whatever. If you get on this webinar, answer all the questions. So, 100,000, whatever the case, they ask like, oh, is anybody ready to make money this year? Yes, you are. Like, whatever, play team. You want to see that you're supporting your mentor or whoever, just so that people will understand that it's a respect thing. Oh, this guy is interesting. Oh, people respect him. People, they're engaging with him. Then they'll feel more comfortable to do that also. So, and also, big key at the end, when they open it up for questions, people will ask questions or whatever, but since you had like a brief talk with whoever you invited or whatever the case, and like I said, not giving too much information, but you're just listening to what they're saying, that's why it's important now, because if they're asking questions and it's certain things that they brought up to you that they want to know, like they're having trouble, like, okay, so how much is this, or how do I get started, or anything like that, you want to make sure that you have a question. Just like they say, when you go to get an interview for a job, always ask a question at the end when they ask you. It's kind of the same for this, because you want to show the interest. You want to make sure, kind of to also to have certain questions answered for your prospect that they may have not known the answer. So if you want them to go over again, how do you get started? Oh, okay, get back with the person that sent you, whatever the case. Just be engaging in this webinar, because the more engaging that the webinar is, the more people that join, all this other stuff, is better for everyone's chat. So the more people engage, the more that the chat room is live and everything like that, everyone does better. That's the great thing about network marketing. So number 8 is, which is after the call, the meeting, the webinar, whatever you have, pay attention to the people who contact you first. A lot of people will call you, and this is why it's important to make sure they have your phone number. A lot of people will call you right after the webinar when they're ready, and they're like, I loved it, I want to start. Great, you love people like that. Love it, start, let's do it. Send them the link, okay? Don't do all this running around. You want to hurry up and get people started who want to be started. You want to fast. You want to hurry up. That's it. Send them the link, okay? Period. That's it. Everything, once they start, there it is. You don't have to talk. You don't have to explain anything, blah, blah, blah. Get them the link. Make sure that you stay on the phone with them while they do it, or if they have any questions. But, yeah, make sure that you just do that. Get to it. Send them the link. Stay on the phone. Okay, I'll do it while you're on the phone. Oh, well, I just text you my site. Click get started, and let's get started. Do that ASAP. Don't ask any questions. Don't talk about it. Don't do anything else. Don't blah, blah, blah. Just send them their link. Make sure that you know your link. before you even, in the beginning, before you do anything. If they have any questions, the great thing is, again, you should know your mentor's availability and everything like that. You should tell them, okay, well, I'm still learning, or I'm still trying to, figure this out, or I just started. But my mentor, he knows everything about this. Like, he's been doing this for years. He's been trading, whatever the case. He knows everything about this. So I can get you on a call with him, and he can answer any questions that you have, he or she. So my thing is, a lot of the time, the person speaking is usually your mentor or whatever. So you can say, it's actually a good thing, because people want to know the person who's in charge, so to speak, or the person that they see talking. They have that authoritative role, I guess. So people are going to want to talk to them anyway. So your mentor's schedule, their availability and all this other stuff. So you want to say, okay, like, will you be available tomorrow morning, or will you be available tomorrow afternoon, everything like that? Oh yeah, I don't work, or I'm on break from like 1 to 2, or maybe I get off of work around 4, 3, or whatever. What you do is you'll say, okay, well, yeah, I just have to get back with my mentor. I'll see if around like 3 or 3:30 is good for him, and I'll confirm with you after I confirm with your mentor. He's busy. You don't want to. He or she is busy, so you don't want to just commit them to things that when they're busy. So tell them around the time. Contact your mentor and make sure they're available, and then confirm. Go back and just say, okay, my mentor will be available to speak around 3:30. Fine, cool, okay. Okay. So then number 9, the follow-up. So this is with everybody else who doesn't contact you back, no one who didn't join after the call or whatever. I wait till the following day, because after I get calls from people joining and everything like that, it's usually late, and I'm not calling anyone around 12 and everything like that. And I usually wait, preferably to the time that they contacted you. So if they contact you around like 11 or 12 or 1 or 3 or 4, whatever the case, it's best to contact them around that time. But also make sure it's enough time where they can get on the next webinar. So like I said, I usually contact people anywhere between 11, because I'm an early bird. I'm really up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So 11 to about, I say about 3. I kind of really go through the list again of everybody who I had on the call last night, on the webinar last night. And I just say, hey, did you get on the webinar? Did you get a chance to look at the information? Whatever the case, most likely it's a webinar. And a lot of times they'll say, I didn't make it on the webinar. For whatever case, you really don't care, because they should have made it, but whatever. It's whatever. There's another one. So they'll say, they'll say, oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to look, but when's the next one? So you go, luckily, we have another webinar tonight at 9. So now, if they say, oh, I couldn't make it because, I was working and blah, 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 you ask them about their schedule. Say, oh, okay. Like in the beginning, I don't really ask them about their schedule. After they don't make it, I ask them about their schedule. Just so you don't keep on inviting them to stupid times, that they're doing stuff. So I say, oh yeah, do you usually work during this time? And then a lot of times they'll say, okay, so Tuesday, Thursday, I work from like 7 till like 3 o'clock in the next morning. So you say, okay, well, Thursday, did I say Thursday? Anyway, whatever day that they didn't. Thursday, we have another webinar at 9 p.m. Okay, well, hop on that one. Okay, fine. I'll remind you, and you do it again. I'll remind you an hour before the 9 p.m. Eastern webinar on Thursday. Okay? So you're always repeating the time. You're always confirming with them, whatever the case. And they'll say, okay, whatever. If they work weekdays, then you can tell them, okay, okay, well, we have a webinar for you on Sunday, Sunday at 9. And can you be there? Oh, yeah, I could do that, blah, blah, blah. So you take note of this. So like I said, when it comes to Sunday, an hour before, you can remind them again, do the process again. Okay. And then really at that point, it's like once they show interest, they're yours until they say no, until they stop answering, which they will, and that's fine, because people will constantly be hitting you up, especially if you continue to post. You're having fun. Anybody who's interested, make sure you're posting when people join, because people are like, oh, this person joined. Oh, I got to join. Oh, yeah. Okay. So making sure you're posting when people join. Make sure you're posting that you're having fun. Make sure you're posting when you're learning. Make sure you're posting your demo. Make sure you're posting your live trades, whatever the case. Make sure, even if you're posting someone else's results, which I talked about before, in the group or whatever, just keep that constant flow, and you don't have to overdo it, but a constant flow of interest. Okay. So even if you post like 3 times a day, I don't know, me, I post a lot during the day in my own personal life. So I kind of just supplemented that with my business. But like I said, number 10, just follow the process again. So like I said, if they didn't have time to do it, okay, well, we'll do it again. And then you go through the hour before, everybody for that day, go down the list, send it to them, and, get back on that call, play team. It's the best when you show up, okay? It's the best. So let's see. Is that everything? That's everything. Exactly. Everybody gets on the team eventually. And that's it. That is the key. That is the key. That's why I say have your number. Because sometimes people aren't going to join now. They're going to join later. So it's fine. After what? Like 2 times inviting someone, unless they're contacting me, I'm not going to keep on saying, okay, tonight, this is another one. Tonight, this is another one. If they're contacting me and they're like, okay, when's the next one? Then I'll say, okay, yeah, tonight we're having one. But after the second invite, I'll follow up one more time in the morning, and I'll put them on. I think I color mine's orange for people who are like iffy or on the fence. I color them orange because they're going to join later after they continue to see your success and you're consistent. That's what I do. So I have no idea how long this was, but yeah, this was great. Yeah. I It was really quick, so yeah, you'll see more videos of just like little tidbits and stuff. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. You can see examples of the things that I post. It's at Mari, Mari _ Cubana, Cubana. And I'm also on Facebook, Marisa, Marisa Fortes, F as in Frank, Ortes. So yeah, follow me. If you need any help, you can always reach out to me. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My team, my number. So yeah, let's build this damn thing. Okay.